Since the dawn of the Time Teller channel, nay, since the dawn of time itself, I've been requested to review a Squale watch. Now, I don't know why. I've just never gotten around to it. I've never had the ability to like get my hands on one for review, and I didn't want to spend my own money on one. Jew! He's a Jew! I'm gonna get demonetized for naughty. But since linking up with my partners in Korea, Wada Watches, they sent me not one, but two Squale watches, and I'm going to share those with you today. Also, they drew a really cool picture of me. It says Merry Christmas because I was supposed to do this unboxing a while ago, but I caught. Now real quick, if you like wristwatches and you don't take anything too seriously, consider subscribing because we are the absolute heathen knucklehead underbelly of the horology world, and I'd love to see you join us. And then I want you to find that like button, okay? Use your little specs. And then I want you to paint that like button with your laser target designator.
I'm all over it.
And I want you to go ahead and call in an A10 strafing run right on top of it. Can you do that for me? It is 4:31 p.m. Let's get down to business. Now here before us are two Squale Corso Italiano watches, and you gotta use your hands when you're talking about them. Now, I'm getting some definite Blancpain 50 Fathoms vibes, and it makes sense because once upon a time, Squale actually produced watch cases for Blancpain. So that's just a real cool tidbit of history. Now these are definite vintage-esque divers, okay? I'm gonna say this right off the bat. If you're not a fan of faux patination, these are probably not the watches for you. However, I absolutely love faux patina, so yeah, I'm excited to get into the specs. 40.6 millimeter diameter coming from that 316L stainless steel case, 47.3 millimeter lug to lug, and about 12.3 millimeters thick. These watches are powered by an ETA 28242 automatic movement. You're getting about a 38-hour power reserve there. You're getting a 300-meter water resistance rating with a threaded, almost onion crown. You're getting a very vintage double-domed sapphire crystal with AR coating, but again, the way it bubbles atop that bezel, it just, I love it. I love that look. Old school sports watch. And then this box, very, very nice. This is on the spec sheet, actually. There's a smudge right here. Oops, disregard that. That's a Japanese Inoki portable watch box. Very cool, nice little clip, very smooth. I'm sure this is very fancy schmancy, but I don't know anything about like woodworking. When I was little, I made a desk in wood shop. I actually still use that desk in the office. It's over here. I'm surprised that it's holding up. But I'm gonna be honest, the teacher did most of the work. I like glued, I just pretty much glued the pieces together. I don't know. Now the black dial is limited to 500 pieces, and the white dial, the Arctico, which I believe is just Arctic, is limited to 300 pieces. Now you guys probably already know how I feel about this watch just based upon the aesthetic. I'm a sucker for anything that has like this vintage charm, but you know what? Let's go ahead and get into the pros and cons because there are some things I like and some things that I'm not a huge fan of. On to the pros. At 12.3 millimeters thick, this is technically not the slimmest watch in the world. Like, I've reviewed a lot of watches that are truly, truly thin in profile. However, this watch lays so flat on the wrist. So you can see told you guys, told you in the episode that I would have that stupid hand thing going on. It lays so flat on the wrist, you practically do not know you're wearing it. It is crazy. I'm telling you, this is like the antithesis of a bulky dive watch. It's just so comfortable on the wrist. The bezel feels great. There's some definite ratcheting retention. You can hear it. It's not gonna back out on you. We can give it the seal of approval for T3 pizza roll timing. I mean, let's face it, guys, right? Slim lugs, a domed crystal, really functional bezel, beautiful faux patination, and just very wearable dimensions. This is a vintage-esque stunner with all the confidence you'd get from a modern dive watch. So yes, sounds like I'm gushing over these watches, but let's get into the cons, because with the good comes the bad. First con, a ghosted date. Okay, that doesn't bother me a ton, but I initially didn't know which movement this watch had, and so I went to unthread the crown and I pulled the crown out to set the time. I thought something was broken because I was moving the crown and it wasn't winding and it wasn't like changing the handset. And then I realized, oh, it's cycling through the date. And so I went into the spec sheet, realized that this does have a date complication. The dial just doesn't accommodate it. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of people in the comment section, every time I mention ghosted dates, they get really upset. Next con, the bezel insert looks great on these watches. However, it is an utter smudge magnet, okay? I don't know what it is about the finish, that it's just very shiny and it's like kind of black lacquer almost. But if there is any, like if you touch it with your finger at all when you're actuating the bezel, it just leaves smudges like immediately. And that's, yeah, I don't know. Next up, sticker shock. Okay, these are not what I would consider to be true entry-level divers because, let me see, the white dial is $14.99 and the black dial is $15.99. Now the odd thing is the white dial is actually limited, like there's like 200 less in production than the black dial, and yet the white dial is more affordable. So I don't quite understand that, but whatever. Which brings us to the final con, and that would be limited edition. Right, I don't like limited editions. That's no secret. So what's my conclusion? Well, if you like vintage Swiss divers and you want something that looks like a vintage Swiss diver, but you don't want to shell out Blancpain money and you want something modern, then absolutely. I think that these Squale Corso Italiano divers are the way to go. However, with, you know, $14.99 and $15.99, there are a lot of other options out there, so that's something to take into consideration. So guys, as always, please let me know what you think about these watches. Do any of you own any Squale watches? And what do you think about this kind of vintage aesthetic with the faux patination? Are you a fan? Do you not like it? Do you love it like me? Or do you think it's just disgusting? Leave me that comment. And again, special thanks to Wada Watches. Now guys, as always, if you enjoy watches and you don't take anything too seriously, please consider subscribing because we are the watch world sociopaths of YouTube, and I would love to see you join us. And then also go ahead, locate that like button. It's probably down here somewhere. And then I want you to paint that like button with your laser target designator, and I want you to call in an A10 strafing run right on top of its head. Can you do that for me? All right, guys, thank you so much. Subscribe to my other channel, T3 Time to Drive, where I talk about all my cars and just car love in general. I would love to see you over there. Check out my personal website, thetimetellershop.com, the #1 place to find affordable vintage luxury watches handpicked by me. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and I will see you on the next one. Oh wait, you didn't think I would say it? No, I'm not gonna say it this time. I'm not going to say it this time. I'm going to try something else in 2022. I just thought I would stop saying it. I didn't invent time. I just tell it. Guys, of course I'm going to say it. And I'm still going to dab.